besties, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing well, taking care. And today I am officially back on YouTube. I'm gonna start off by a video requested by a viewer right here, how to make crystal chip jewelry. But today we are making a choker. You can see all the details of this beautiful necklace, so don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with a friend. The materials that you're going to need for this project are: you will need some cord or wire. You will also need some crimping pliers. You can also use some regular pliers and it will do the job just as well. I'm using a bent nose plier and a flat nose plier for this project. You will also need to choose some beads. These are seed beads. I chose blue, and some crystal chips of your preference. Also remember to have an extension chain. That's to make the necklace more adjustable, a lobster clasp or any other clasp, and a charm of your choosing. I choose this beautiful angel charm. And you will also need a couple of jump rings and obviously your crimp bead. This is how crimp beads look. Make sure to keep all your materials nearby and let's get started. The length of a choker is 14 to 16 inches, so make sure to cut a lot more than that because you're gonna be doing some adjustments, but that's just the choker length that we're going to be using. Firstly, we are gonna crimp an end of the cord because it's way easier to do it now than at the end. Also, when you add your beads, it's gonna keep them all in place. Basically, I'm just opening a jump ring to add it and make sure it's very well closed. After you add your crimp bead, you add the jump ring on top, and you're basically just gonna pass the other side of the cord through like I'm doing right here. You do like a little loop. Make sure it's not too tight because it can break. Make sure that the jump ring has a little bit of space, to move around. And basically, you're just gonna adjust it the best as you can. It's a little tricky at first, but you will get it. After you have done your adjustments, you're basically just gonna crimp that bead. You're gonna squeeze it. You're gonna squish it with whatever plier you have. Crimp pliers, they serve their purpose, but honestly, it's basically the same as normal pliers, at least to me. After you press down the crimp bead, it should be very tightly adjusted. It's gonna look more like a flat piece of metal now, but that means that it's fine, that the cord is not gonna get out of there or possibly break. Optional, you can also add a crimp cover. Now for the fun part, time to start adding the seed beads. When it comes to choosing a pattern, sometimes I just wing it, sometimes I think about the combination of beads and colors, and sometimes I just roll with the flow. For this particular piece, I just thought about the color blue. I didn't necessarily think about a pattern, but I just wanted something blue, something cute. I did make sure to make a little pattern just by leaving a space between the crystal chips. I did not want them one next to the other, just a couple of beads and then add a crystal chip. Now I'm gonna speed this up a little bit, but before, I want to tell you what kind of crystal chip I'm using. I'm using some blue calcite and some turquoise howlite. Also, don't forget to subscribe and like. That helps the channel a lot. And please enjoy this part with some relaxing lo-fi music. this piece is done, look at this gorgeous pattern. It's pretty random, but it looks so freaking good. Now we're just gonna crimp the other side, add our charm, and be done with this beautiful piece. To crimp this side, it's exactly the same steps as before. You take your jump ring, make sure it's closed, add your crimp bead onto the piece of cord, add your jump ring on top of the crimp bead, and loop-de-loop like SpongeBob. No, I'm kidding. Just loop it through, just like basically just bend it and pass it through, pull it, and on this step at least make sure that you don't leave a little gap on accident. Like, I did a lot of adjustments before because when the beads are already on, you see, like, it will look like, oh, it's all together, but no, sometimes there's just a big gap left. After making the adjustments, once again the piece is officially finished. Now I just need to add the extension on one side and the lobster clasp on the other. Before that, you want to cut off the excess of the cord because obviously you don't want that poking through your neck or your customer's neck. I cut off the excess with a plier because this cord is very strong, so like you cannot cut this with scissors, you know. Make sure to not leave any prickly piece behind because you don't want your customer or yourself to get hurt while wearing your necklace. Like, you don't want a rash. After you're done cutting, you're just gonna add the final touches and you're gonna check that your necklace is all a-okay, ready to wear or ready to sew. Personally, I'm a very perfectionist person, so I tend to double check everything I do and make sure it's the way I like, or that, you know, that is like done properly, because I don't like making a jewelry that it's gonna break or something. Just like, I want to do it right, you know, like especially if it's for sale or a gift or even for myself. Like, you want a long-lasting piece. Make sure to always also be very patient when working with your pieces. Each time you practice, the faster you will make them. So just make sure to have a lot of practice and just do it and don't give up. Stay tuned for new upcoming videos talking about jump rings, clasp. You know, other than making the tutorials, I want to also teach you where to get these pieces, how to know if it's good quality, how to use them, which one is used for what, because you can use different clasps for different projects, you know. Like, I want to teach all of that. I want to talk all about it with all of you. Other than that, I hope I can keep growing the channel and making it better for all of you. I really enjoy making all of this content. Now for the final step is basically just to add your charm. This charm already had the jump ring on, so basically I just opened it and I looked for the center of the piece and I added it on it. You can place the charm wherever you want, but I like the classic way of placing it in the center, and you can also place or add even more charms. As you can see, the jump ring that I use for this charm is bigger because I want the charm to have space to move around, and it just looks better and makes it more comfortable. And now it's basically done. Look at how beautiful this necklace looks. This can be easily matched with a lot of outfits, and I made it short because, well, it's a choker and I really like how it fits on me. Well, that is the end of the tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any other ideas, comments, or suggestions, don't forget to leave them in the box down below. And very importantly, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with a friend. It helps me and the channel grow very much. Thank you. See you next week. Bye.